coming your way. Hey, hey, it's video of the day.
A male nurse shoots off his mouth and his career goes south. This is Chad, a Chicago nurse who wants MAGA employees fired and who appeared to suggest letting ICE agents bleed out. I hope his boss isn't watching. Roll it, Sven.
One of our own was just murdered in the street. We might be able to stop this somehow. The vasculature in the leg, it really bleeds. Bleeds well. Someone could bleed out very quickly from that. Probably like a couple of minutes, really. I would really suggest to all the healthcare organizations out there that if you have knowingly MAGA employees, that you terminate them. You can't have people who have open racism in the healthcare system.
Doing it on the toilet. Why? MAGA nurses aren't racist. They just believe in walls, and in your case, padded ones. And they believe in following the law, like preventing nurses from killing people. Well, I guess his boss watched because it appears Chad was the one fired, and now he's playing victim.
I think it's really annoying that a post that I made talking about nurses who are MAGA, basically questioning if they could treat people equally. And so I said that I didn't think that they should have jobs. Somehow that's been twisted to that I wouldn't treat a MAGA patient the same. I'm a good person. And I work really hard, and I take care of all of my patients really hard. I took care of all of my patients really hard.
Really hard, right. But what did you expect? You're a nurse advocating the withholding of care from injured people so they die. And worse, you're a male nurse who has to face the uphill battle of disappointing people who think you're a doctor. Jamie, I just realized you look like a male nurse.
Do I?
Yeah, you have the face of a male nurse.
Oh.
Like you're not as distinguished enough to be a doctor.
Yeah.
But you could be a nurse.
Thank you.
Yes.
That guy was backtracking so hard in that second video. I'm surprised in the background you couldn't hear beep, 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 beep. I know normally you have to do tests and things like that for psychosis, but I think in this case we could probably just eyeball it.
Yeah.
He's like so crazy. Can you imagine if that was your nurse? And honestly, if it comes down to this, he said he was holding someone's groin, and then he said, like, let him bleed out. Let me tell you something, Greg. If the options are, that man holds my groin, or I bleed out, please get my affairs in order.
He's the best. You know, Emily, I think you and I talked about this once in the hallways when you were bothering me. Do you think that because of the rise of social media, there's so many people who still don't understand the accountability of going on there? They think it's just like writing a limerick on a bathroom wall and no one's going to see it but you and your friends.
Yes, and that's why it's so defeating to see that there's so many millions of people who have zero character whatsoever. I would actually respect him a little bit more if he was like, yeah, that's how I feel. But instead, like everyone, he folds. It's not what I meant something different. No, everything's fine. No, please hire me again. Just kidding. It's so tragic, the spinelessness of all of these jellyfish that come out there and like, oh my gosh, I got so upset. I had to just do a TikTok video for my followers. There's like 35. And then they say something horrific. And then rightly so, it goes viral. And then they backtrack. Also, I have not seen a puka shell necklace since 1992, for the record. But can I say this too? That it reminded me, seriously, and this was what really alarmed me, of during COVID when people in the healthcare industry were doing the same thing for those that weren't vaccinated. Remember the 31-year-old guy who couldn't get a heart transplant because he didn't have the COVID vaccine. 12-year-old girl couldn't get a heart transplant. That Alabama physician that was like, I'm not treating anyone that has like that somehow, that culture was approved and applauded, and so now we're seeing the resurrection here.
That's where you're getting. This is coming from that. That's very good. A nice call on the puka shells.
Nice.
That should have been our warning side, Tyrus. This is that pattern you see over and over again. They will accuse you of a destructive tactic so they can use it on you.
Well, he's just confused. In his first video, when he was talking the most, he had a mask, which could have hid his identity.
Yeah.
But he just wore it on his neck.
Yeah.
So that was the first mistake, and quite honestly, why me and Jamie missed the puka shells, because had we saw them, we would have been dropping gold bars of jokes about him, but Emily stole it. So congratulations, Emmy. Game ball to you. Then in the second video, he had the time to put makeup on, but forgot to put his blouse on. So it's like he's just, no matter what he's trying to do, he's just off. And then the third one, he's mad because people held him accountable, so he tried to out-mad them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which every married man knows what that's like. It is the most painful thing in the world. You have been wronged. You know, you said starch, they weren't starched, and you're like, I'm upset. I don't like this. It's hard for my skin. And when well, that's what you get for being big. And you're like, well, you can't out-mad me.
Yeah.
Like, I have a right to be mad. And he's upset. But again, this is the thing. They live in a feelings world where they're said, your feelings are your truth. The problem is the person that gave that information, that little gem that they all used together, had one slight character flaw. He was a moron.
Yeah. And there's a lot of these. Guy, this is like, I think, the fourth nurse that we've covered in the last couple of weeks. What is it with the caregiver industry that falls for, hires such weirdos?
Nurses and teachers,
Yeah.
it feels like, a lot of the protest movement. It's kind of interesting to see this guy playing the victim, which of course he retreats to, having talked really tough. And he seems to have this notion that people who voted differently than him should not be able to be in the medical field.
Right.
But he, making those comments, is a wonderful nurse who should keep his job. That is a little bit odd to me. The other thing is, when I was growing up, when you're a little kid, they teach you in school and at home, use your indoor voice and keep some of your thoughts to yourself.
Yeah.
This would be one of those thoughts. If you had this thought, it's bad.
Yeah.
Say, ooh, that's kind of weird that I think that, but I'm going to keep it to myself. Then he said it out loud, which is demented. Then he said, let me go find my phone, record myself saying it, and publish it to the world. And then 5 minutes later, when he's out of a job, he's like, what the hell happened? I'm a victim.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my mom always said, never trust a nurse named Chad.
I believe it's pronounced Shad.
Chad.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.